Dude, there's a
I
story.
will take the punishment for
There's
them.
a this is a real story, right? What will happen is there's guys in Botswana, and probably not just Botswana alone. They'll go to South Africa and they'll get like 200,000 rand or something. And to have like a bunch of dudes just run a train on them. Right?
Okay, so
And
what? We're talking about people's bedrooms, you know.
no, but this is a fact. This is not a hypothetical. This has actually happened. At least one person that she was telling me, like her boyfriend did this. And
But like
he
the,
would,
the guy does it for himself. Is that what you're saying?
for himself. No, he does it so he has no job, then or cash, then he'll like go on this trip to South Africa, and then when he comes back, he's got nice clothes and there's cash again, and then he goes and then comes back again, and then there's money again. And when she realized that, oh my goodness, my boyfriend is actually just like selling his anal services to these dudes. I mean, I guess, you know, that's a thing. And then she broke up with him because she's like, nah, that's not, I want a
All it
man,
comes
not
down
a.
to is this. Like you are looking at it from the lens that you look at life
Of
from
course.
and the way you've been raised and all that type of stuff. And I take it back to the first thing about the prawn magazines in the bathroom.
Yeah, of course.
It's the same thing. Everybody looks at this life subjectively in their own opinion. So for that guy, maybe that's not such a big deal. Maybe it's the same with these models, quote unquote models, who
Well, it
go to
obviously,
Dubai.
okay.
Who go to Dubai and to do
Do
Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah.
um, and you've heard. I mean, we don't even have to go into the stories, but we've heard it. So she goes there and she comes back and she sorted herself out for the entire year over for a weekend. And it's like, what was the background? How did she grow up? Who were the parents at? Was this person an orphan? Like, there's so much that we can look into. So personally, I can say from my outlook, no, that's so wrong. It's disgraceful. But maybe to that person, what if they were like raped or something when they were a kid? And they're like, it's already happened to me. Now I can just get paid for it.
I understand your perspective. It's just that there's also this element of truth, I think. And the question is, what is your truth? Now, if something is your truth, you will not hide it, right? Unless, of course, your life is in danger. And if you're sneaking away to do this, not telling your girlfriend, like, yo, by the way, babes, we don't have cash right now, so I'm gonna go to across the border quick, go take this pumping, and then I'll be back with like the money we need for the rest of the year, then I would say there's an element of shame to that. You don't want it to be known. You don't even want to tell your partner that you're doing it because you think it's wrong, which means if you think it's wrong, that's the problem, right? That's like the definition of sin, even if you don't take it in the strict definition of Islam or Christianity or any other kind of religion. You are doing something that you yourself do not deem worthy, which is why you do it in secret. And that's the thing that gets me. You understand? Because then you're debasing yourself. if you are just like, oh, that's what I do. I mean, there's plenty of women who are escorts, and if you ask them, I mean, they might not bring it up out of nowhere, but if you ask them, they're like, yeah, I'm an escort. So, that person, I would say, okay, that person is not ashamed. They're living in the light. There's, they're certainly not, yeah, they're not ashamed of themselves. So that might just be their view of life. I have these attributes and I can acquire what I need in this world through that. But if you're not like that and you do it, then you're living in a shame. And that's where I would say that's not okay. At the very least, that's not
Yeah,
okay.
look, it's like I said, there's so many variables and factors, and
But you're the guru, man. Tell us. Tell us, what
I
is it
don't know
okay
anything
to be
about
living
that.
in shame? Should you not always try
Obviously,
to do what you
um,
at least believe is right? You know?
you would have to you'd have to sit down with the person and then start speaking to them from that perspective. Because maybe if you point these things out, they might have the realization, oh my gosh, you're actually right. Like, I don't like this. And, um, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, I've just obviously like I heard some news yesterday and it's just been sitting on my brain
Mm.
just in terms of what people do with their money, right? So even for
Mm.
that guy, like you getting all this money, like you
Name,
said, then
name this story. Can I tell the story as I
what
understand it?
story?
So there's a there's a guy. His name
No,
is
like I'm not trying to talk about that story.
his name is
Um
X. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Okay. There's
I know
X.
I'm not even trying to bring up that story at all. Like I don't even want to talk about it. I'm saying
Oh,
that
okay.
um like if this person goes, like you said, to South Africa, um and they get all this money that can last them for the year, is there not something that you're into? Like, do you not bake bread or something? Do you not want to open a bakery and
Mm.
do something with the money so that you don't have to do that?
Yeah.
And then the question is, it's like you do get people who are quote unquote, um, what do they call it? Closeted, I guess, who they think it's shameful for the people that they are close to. You know, I've there's a couple of, and it's so weird to say, but there's a couple of married guys who um they live that life and they have these
Married
like
to
just
women.
married to women and they just live this like unhappy life, and every evening they're sneaking away to the garage or whatever
Yeah.
to go watch this content.
Content is what we're calling it. Okay. Um.
Yeah, no. So, there's this one dude who was talking. Where was it on? Like I think it was this podcast like of these like gym bro dudes. I haven't checked any of their stuff in a long time, but
uh
I think they had this guy on, and those are always the dudes I'm like. It's a little bit sketchy to me. Dudes who are just these like bodybuilder types who are like on Trenbolone and Anavar and
What
you
are all these
know
sites? What is that?
no, these are not sites, these are anabolic steroids that I'm talking
Oh,
about. They're
okay.
on Deca and you know
I don't know any of
and
that.
so these bodybuilder types, they inject themselves and they're working out hard and they're growing the big beard, and then they end up being gay or something. And he was saying that I just had to tell her. I knew that. I think he said after like 3 years of watching that content that, and he even said it straight. like straight. But he even said it to guys. He's like, if you're watching that content, like you're gay.
Hmm. Yeah, that could
And
be.
I know people who watch it. And I'm like, I'm obviously not being like an asshole or something. I need to be careful of my words here. But I just sometimes ask them the question like, yo, but don't you think that you're maybe gay or something if that's what you're watching?
Hmm.
No, no, no. I'm just I'm interested to see what happens, man. That's like my kink. I'm like, I don't know if that's it, man.
Yeah,
Uh
I I knew a story and I wanted to get your take on this. So I had a friend. Um, I was a member when I was a member of I had a friend. Let me not even go too detailed. Woman, and she I knew her through church. I'm not going to even mention what church, but it's a certain church, and they have a tradition of marriage, right? They promote family values and all of that. Very well known. Some people would say it's not even a Christian church. Some would say that, right? Um, and okay, let's just say it: Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, right? The Mormons, as they like to
you
be
mean
called.
Mormons?
And she married a guy whom she had met 4 times, and I met this guy. She asked me, "Hey, come with me," and another friend of ours. We all three of us we went. We met him because he lived in South Africa, and we met the guy. And we're like, okay, cool. Seems a little soft, like a sedentary type, whatever. Okay, nothing too whatever. And they ended up getting engaged, got married. I told her, wow, you're quite fast. It's been like 4 months. You've met him 4 times, but okay, cool. I'm happy for you. Then there was the wedding, and me and the other guys were like, there's some interesting behavior here. So certain things, but no one wants to judge because we know that there's fluidity in sexuality, right? Like just because I mean, it's happened before. Like you think a guy is gay because of the way he speaks, and then you find out not only is he not gay, this guy's and not only is he married, but he's like even having affairs with other women. So like clearly not what you thought, right? Like, um, and so no one's judging. And then one day, I'd now met my current wife. We're still dating, and I had to meet up with this husband of my friend and to give him something. And I was with my girlfriend, my now wife. I was like, yeah, look, we have to wait for my friend's husband. He's coming here. And then we'll go. And he arrives, greets her, we talk, we talk. I give him whatever I had to give him, and he leaves. And then she turns to me and is like, yeah, man, when's your friend's husband gonna get here? And I was like, what do you mean? That was him. And she was like, that's your friend's husband? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay. So she immediately thought, no, this is a gay dude. This is no one's husband. This is a gay man. I thought you were just talking to a friend of yours who happens to be gay, right? Um, Long story short, it turns out he is gay. I think he tried to pray away the gay and just get married, and then somehow maybe it would go away, which we all know it's a terrible concoction. Like it's never go into those kind of like hidden lives, right? If you're gay, be gay.
Yeah,
If you're
the
straight, be
suppression
straight.
is will drive you insane.
Yeah, exactly. And
But
of
look,
course,
but here's
it's
another thing.
straining. Yeah.
There's a there's a guy. I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful here. There's a guy who, for many years, like everyone thought was gay. Like, where so feminine, the voice is so high pitched, the arm gestures and the movements and the mannerisms is just, you're just like, okay, this is like one of those types,
Or like even
right?
flamboyant.
Like fully just out there living it,
Too much
and
sauce.
and so many people said it, but yet this guy has 3 kids, married, um, shows shows no signs of anything like that. Actually pretty wealthy now. Um, Now is he doing the thing I spoke about in the beginning about running off to the his man cave or the garage? I don't know,